Thanks for joining me in my kitchen again. I'm here to do some stretching with you. Maybe you've just finished one of our kitchen exercise segments, or maybe you're just here waiting for a pot of water to boil and you want to make use of your time and do a few stretches. So join me, here we go. We're going to make use of the counter as a nice supportive surface as we do some stretches. Our first one is going to be a hip hinge. Feet are wide, slightly more than hip width. Knees are softly bent. Shoulders are set low. We're going to make note of our nice long spine in this upright position, and we're going to now take that to a hinged position. Hands on the counter for support. Maybe we're letting our rear sit out behind us a little bit. You can take this nice and close to the counter too if you feel like you need that extra support. Taking some nice even breaths in and out while you're here. We'll do this stretch again at the end of our stretching sequence as well, but this is a hinge stretch, letting our low back and our hips release a bit. Good, come on up nice and tall. Next we have our adductor, which is our inner thigh muscles that we're going to stretch in a nice wide stance. Hands on the counter for support. Soften out one knee. Let's stay nice and tall through our spine as we get that inner thigh stretch on one side, with the option of the extended leg, same side arm reaching up and over. So maybe you're feeling it a little bit in through your side body, your obliques here as well. Great, come on through center. Let's do the same on the other side. Soften out your knees. Nice big reach up and over. Awesome, come on back through center. We'll step that one together. We're gonna stretch our hip flexor next. This one can be done both facing the kitchen counter and to the side of the counter. So I'm gonna demo it facing the counter first. If you need that extra support, this is the stretch that you will choose. Nice and close to the counter for this one. Bent knee, toe tap back behind, shifting our weight forward, maybe even letting our hips set on the counter for some support. Little butt squeeze to drive that hip forward and open up nice and tall through the hip flexor. Or taking that same stretch to the side, we can use the counter for some support at our side hip as we tap back, maybe reaching for the ceiling here as well. So now getting a nice stretch through hip flexor and up our side body. Good, make sure you're breathing, nice even inhale, exhale. If your arm gets tired, you can take it down. If you're still enjoying that lower body stretch, maybe hand is on the hip instead. And then we'll switch sides. So again, you can take this as a stretch that is fully supported at the counter, toe tap back behind, shifting your hips forward to get that hip flexor stretch, or turning to face away from you for a moment as I come to the side counter and tap back, getting that hip flexor stretch, and then maybe also adding a reach for the ceiling. Stretch up nice and long. Again, maybe that arm's getting a little tired being extended. You can take it down. Let's let that hip flexor have just a little bit more time in a nice open position. We spend a lot of time seated as a society, so it's nice to give those hip flexors a chance to really open up. Great, let's step that one together. Moving on to our calf stretch next. Similarly, we can use the counter with both hands at the counter for support here to take a step back. Back foot is on the ground fully, heel is on the ground, toes are facing forward, and then body is coming forward for this stretch. So I'm looking for a stretch through my lower leg on the back foot. If this feels a little bit intense, you're gonna slide your foot forward a little bit farther. If it feels like you need a little bit more in your current position, maybe you're gonna press your heel really actively into the floor and your hands actively into the counter, getting just a little bit more stretch. We're trying not to bounce through any of these stretches. We're settling into a nice comfortable position and then holding them in place for at least 10 seconds. 30 seconds is more ideal. And then if we have nice warm muscles and we're looking to elongate those muscles over the long term, then holding the stretches for maybe a minute or longer. Great, let's step out of that calf stretch and do the same on the other side. Big step back, body forward, heel is down on that extended back leg, and toes are facing forward. Again, change it up if you need to. If this is too intense, ease your foot closer to the counter. If you need a little more, a press into the counter and through the heel into the floor on that stretching side. Looks good. We'll ease our way out of that stretch. Let's do a chest and shoulder stretch here. This is one of our last stretches for today. We're going to take one hand onto the counter and take a tiny pivot step away from the counter in the opposite direction as the hand. So if my shoulder is set, my elbow is bent, and my hand is on the counter, I'm going to pivot step away. I can still use my other hand for support here if I need it. And then I'm going to think about being tall through my spine and then maybe taking my chest to face at a right angle to the counter to get that stretch through chest and front shoulder on the side where your hand is currently on the counter. Taking some nice even breaths in and out while you're here. Good, let's switch it to the other side and do the same. So I'm going to set my hand on the counter. I'm going to soften my elbow and take a pivot step away from that hand and then press through the hand just a little bit and move my body to a bit more of a right angle to the counter in order to get that stretch through chest and front shoulder. Listening to your own body, adjusting this stretch until it feels comfortable for you. Don't forget to breathe. Great, we're gonna move our way out of that stretch and finish off in a hinge stretch, very similar to what we were already doing in our very first stretch today. That's gonna be from a wide stance, so wider than hip width. I'm gonna move over just a little bit further on the counter. Knees are softly bent, shoulders are set. We're gonna walk our fingertips away, and maybe you'll have room to walk them even further so you can press your hands quite far away from you into the counter and then pull your hips just slightly back just to give ourselves a little bit of traction here to get a little more stretch through our back. We're looking to keep our back nice and long in its normal curvature. I'm not curling through my back for this at all, arching or extending. I'm keeping it long and stretched. Knees are softly bent, taking nice even breaths in and out. Let's take about 3 more breaths in and out like this together. Good. Walk your hands up nice and slow. Step your feet together. Make sure you have a drink of water since you're in the kitchen right now anyway, and thanks for joining me.